Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at the Inno Tire Hold HD and how it fits our 2019 Kia Sorento. This is going to be a very heavy-duty bike rack, hence the name HD, with a weight capacity of up to 150 pounds total for your bikes. So if you have heavy electric bikes, but you also want a good dual wheel mount system to make it easy to load those bikes up, this might be a really good option for you. Plus, its price point is going to be pretty mid-range, meaning you're not paying extra for features that you might not be interested in. You just want something solid and sturdy. Now, focusing on the Sorento, we're first going to take a look at how well it tilts away. So we have this lever here. We're just going to pull and drop down. And you will notice that its tilt isn't that deep. So looking up at our hatch here, you can see that it does make contact with the handlebars of our mountain bike. Now, if you had a road bike with shorter handlebars, you might be able to make it fit, but there wasn't that much clearance. So that is something to be mindful of if you need full hatch clearance, that it doesn't tilt down that far. Another thing too is that when loading up your bikes, while this is very quick and very fast to get the bikes up, if you want the full ramping experience, you're gonna have to do a little extra. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So first we have these levers. I like to just press on the levers once, just to give that initial disengaging of the mounts, and then I can push it out with one hand. If you can grab your bike from here and go, that's awesome. If you would prefer to ramp it down, just because it might be on the heavier side, then you are gonna have to flip open the anchors. So check that process out in the full demo if you're curious about that. But from here onwards, we can grab our bike and roll it away. Now check out the trays as well as how they are designed. So you can see that they have the little grooves there for different tire widths of different shapes and sizes. This design makes it easy to move the bike around to find whatever fits best. The maximum tire width you can carry with this is going to be up to 3.5 inches wide. That's also because of how the mounts are designed for those tire widths. If you need to adjust for different wheel sizes, fortunately it's a very easy process. You just fit that chock in, slide it over to whichever wheel size works best for you, lift up to secure, and just like that you can secure your bike in the bike rack. Let's talk about how much space this adds to the back of your vehicle though. What I like to do is I like to measure from the bumper and then measure out. We have a distance of 32 inches to be mindful of if you have a garage or a tight parking spot. You do have to remember that the Sorento is a slightly larger vehicle and takes up more room too. Another measurement is ground clearance. So from the ground to the trays where you load your bikes up, that's gonna be 20.5 inches. Compare that real quick to the shank to the ground, and that's 10 inches. So there is a shank rise. So when you go up those inclines, you're not worried about bottoming out. The downside, or maybe the upside in our case here, is that's also gonna be 20.5 inches that you have to ramp your bikes up and onto the rack. So that's on the slightly higher end, but still very doable for those heavy hubs. Another thing this does is this can fold up to be more compact. So you have two options here. If you put it into the 3/4 position, you have full access to your hatch. If you want it even more compact, you can fold it up like this. And it's really nice because you can easily push this down with one hand if you're holding groceries in the other hand, for example. So taking a measurement in the folded up position, we'll go from bumper to the end of the rack, and that's going to be 14 inches. So a difference compared to when this was folded down. Quickly here too, we also see how it fits into our 2-inch hitch receiver. Now you're going to have an anti-rattle bolt as well as an anti-rattle mechanism up here. So both of them work together to make sure It's nice and secure in your hitch. And then once you're finished tightening down the knob, you can lock it into place. This is also where the cable lock for the bike racks or the bikes go. And that secures both of them with one key. And that way, I personally recommend using your own cable lock because it is a little tricky to get that into that knob cover, but it's a nice 2-in-1 solution from Inno. With all things being said, while I really like how sturdy this rack is, as well as how it has that 80-pound weight capacity, the downside is I really wish it tilted away far enough to open up the hatch on the Sorrento. So something that you might take a look at if you like that weight capacity and want a deeper tilt is the Ceres MHS. Now that's going to be an even heavier bike rack and might be a little trickier to get installed into your hitch receiver, but it has a similar weight capacity and a deeper tilt, plus an add-on for up to 3 bikes. Now, the Ceres MHS is at a higher price point than the Inno Tire Hold HD. So if you just want something that makes it easy to carry those heavy electric bikes, plus is very easy to secure with that dual wheel mount system, this was a look at the Inno Tire Hold HD 2-bike platform rack, and you saw it on the 2019 Kia Sorento.